Hey guys, so it's time to give you a little handstand challenge update. Now, the last time you saw me, I was not very dignified. I was falling over in the gym, making a hell of a racket. It was not a good look, but things are getting better. I've been doing my homework. Now, the first thing I've been practicing is that one where you put your knees into the backs of your arms and then you kind of just pivot forwards and balance off the ground. And I first saw that on Shona Virtue's Instagram feed. And to be fair, she gets her knees right in the back, right at the tops of her arms here. It looks like she's a very long way off the floor, and that's exactly how I felt when I first tried it. Slightly intimidated, felt like I was going to faceplant and smash my nose, but it's getting better. I could probably point those toes a little bit more, which is what she says you need to do to get that balance, but I'm getting there. It feels kind of comfortable, so it's progress, right? The next thing I've been doing is walking my feet up the wall behind me in an arm stand. So a little bit of an intermediate step to the handstand. That's going just fine. So the next thing to do was turn myself around and like kind of try and get myself into an arm stand without any support at all. But the wall is there in case I overbalance. Now, I got a couple of great tips from two of you. First tip was from Helen, and she said, stop focusing on what your legs and what your feet are doing. Just think about your hips. If you can rotate your hips so they're directly above you, then of course your legs and your feet will follow. So that was great advice. The thing I figured out for myself was also, if I walked my feet in closer to my body before I tried to go into the arm stand, then it was a lot more controlled. Because if the feet were further behind, you had to kind of jump into the arm stand, and then there was a pretty good chance you'd overbalance and go into the wall, which is exactly what I did do. And at one point, found myself inverted against the wall with my hands kind of slipped behind my head somehow, and I was pretty much stuck. And I was there for a good minute, not entirely sure what to do. Couldn't call my neighbour or the fire brigade because my phone was out of reach. So in the end, I just ended up crumpling in a pile on the floor, which again was not a good look. But fortunately, no one was there to see me. Apart from my neighbours, actually, who probably looking through the window and just wondering, what does this guy do with his days? Like practicing like arm stands and recording himself. It's really weird behaviour, but that's another story. Oh yeah, the next tip I got was from Aya. This is a great one. She said, practice what you preach. You talk about visualization. So how about visualizing yourself in the arm stand, in the handstand? So that's what I've been doing. And you know what? There's more than just hocus pocus to this visualization stuff. Athletes, they do it all the time. So they visualize themselves running their race or performing their event and doing it perfectly. And it actually trains your mind and actually your muscles as well into what you need to go through, the sequence you need to go through to have the perfect performance. And there's some science to it too. So those guys in the white coats put electrodes on athletes and ask them to lie down and imagine themselves running their 100-meter race, for instance. And they found that those athletes' muscles fire in exactly the same sequence, just minutely, that they would fire in were they running the race itself. So it's actually a great way of training muscle memory and kind of visualizing that perfect performance in your mind. So I totally recommend whatever you're doing, whether it's learning to play the guitar or some kind of dance performance you want to do, or some kind of yoga move, then visualize it. It actually works. So things are going okay. I'm kind of getting there. Those feet are wobbling a little bit. It's looking a little bit ungainly, slightly malcoordinated, but it's progress. And I am going to predict, I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to draw a line in the sand. The next time I update you, I'm going to be able to do that arm stand without any support. So you can hold me to that. If you've got any tips, as ever, I'm all ears. I'm no expert, and the last tips have certainly been helping. And if you like the blog and the vlog and all that kind of stuff, give me a cheeky thumbs up. It's always super helpful. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you next time.